You made a mistake putting him away. The words came through my phone at 3 in the morning. A woman's voice. Cold. Unfamiliar. Let me tell you something about consequences. You think taking down a bad guy fixes everything. But remove one predator, and something worse fills the space. Something hungrier. 6 months ago, I put Lorenzo Moretti in prison for life. Thought I'd won. I was wrong. My name is Elena Carter. I'm 29. Former intelligence operative turned FBI consultant. 6 months after testifying against the city's biggest crime boss, his empire is tearing apart in a war so violent it's making national news. 7 people dead in 2 weeks. And the person behind it wants me. This is how I learned that sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. How I went from destroying a monster to needing his help to stop something worse. Hit that like button, subscribe, and comment where you're watching from. Let's get into it. 6 months after Moretti's sentencing, I was finally breathing. New apartment in Seattle. Real FBI job. Real identity. Real life. Then Director Walsh called me in. Moretti's organization is fracturing, he said, pulling up crime scene photos. 7 bodies. Execution style. Someone new is taking over. They're calling her the architect. No history. No records. Just appeared 3 months ago and has been systematically eliminating everyone connected to Moretti's old guard. He showed me grainy surveillance. A figure in dark clothes. Face obscured. She's been asking about you. Specifically. By name. My stomach dropped. We need you to find her before she finds you, Walsh said. I spent a week investigating. Following leads. Building a profile. The architect moved like a ghost. But there was something familiar about her movement style. Professional. Precise. Same training I had. Then I found the connection. Alexei Volkov. Former CIA operative. Discharged 3 years ago for excessive force. Died 2 years ago in a supposed car accident. But when I brought it to Walsh, Deputy Director Chin dropped a bomb. Volkov had a sister.
Katia.
Also intelligence trained. We lost track of her after his death. That's when it clicked. The architect was Katia Volkov. And she blamed someone for her brother's death. I need to talk to Moretti, I said. Absolutely not, Walsh replied. He's the only one who might know what's happening. They didn't like it. But they arranged it. 2 days later, I sat across from Lorenzo Moretti in a federal prison visiting room. He looked different. Thinner. Harder. Prison had stripped away the businessman and left something colder. Elena, he said through the phone. I wondered when you'd come. You know who the architect is.
Ida.
Tell me. He smiled. Why would I help you? You put me here. Because she's destroying everything you built. He leaned forward. Her name is Katia Volkov. Her brother Alexei worked for me before he died. The CIA killed him to keep him quiet. Katia thinks you're connected to his death. And Elena, she won't stop until you're dead. Why does she think I'm involved? Because you and Alexei had the same story. Both burned by your agencies. Both thrown away. He reached out to you 2 years ago. Tried to make contact. Warn you about what the CIA was planning. You never responded. 2 weeks later, he was dead. Katia thinks you sold him out to save yourself. My blood ran cold. I never got any message from Volkov. I know. The CIA intercepted it. But Katia doesn't know that. She thinks you're the reason her brother's dead. And now she's coming for you. The phone shook in my hand. How do I stop her? Moretti's smile widened. That's the interesting question, isn't it? And I have the answer. But Elena, everything has a price. What are you willing to give me for it? And that's when I realized my nightmare was just beginning. I left the prison with more questions than answers. Katia Volkov thought I was responsible for her brother's death. Thought I'd betrayed him to the CIA. And now she was building an empire on Moretti's ruins while hunting me. I needed to understand who she was. What made her tick. How someone goes from grieving sister to ruthless crime boss in 2 years. Back at FBI headquarters, Chin pulled everything we had on the Volkov siblings. Alexei and Katia were born in Moscow, she explained, spreading files across the table. Their father was FSB. Russian intelligence. He trained them both from childhood. Tactical operations. Weapons. Interrogation. Everything. When Alexei was 25, he defected to the US. Brought intelligence that helped us dismantle 3 Russian spy networks. And Katya? She stayed in Russia. We thought she was still there. But now it looks like she followed her brother here years ago. Stayed off our radar. Watched him work for the CIA. Watched him get discarded. Watched him die. I studied Katya's photo. She was beautiful. Sharp features. Cold eyes. The kind of face that could blend into any crowd or stand out in any room, depending on what she needed. Why did the CIA really kill Alexei? I asked. Chun hesitated. That's classified. Chun, she thinks I'm involved. I need to know what really happened. She glanced at the door. Lowered her voice. Alexei discovered something. A CIA black site operation that went wrong. Civilians killed. Evidence covered up. He threatened to expose it. So they eliminated him. Made it look like an accident. And I was supposed to be his contact? His way out. The CIA intercepted his message to you. They couldn't risk him connecting with another burned operative. Someone who might believe him. Might help him. So they killed him first and made sure you never knew he'd tried to reach out. The weight of it hit me. Alexei Volkov had died trying to do what I'd done. Trying to expose the truth. Trying to save innocent people. And his sister blamed me for not helping him. I need to talk to her, I said. That's suicide, Elena. She's killed 7 people in 2 weeks. If you approach her, she'll kill you too. Not if I can prove I'm not her enemy. Not if I can show her the truth. And how do you plan to do that? I need the CIA files. The real files. Proof that they intercepted Alexei's message. Proof that I never betrayed him. Those files are beyond classified. I can't just hand them over. Then I'll get them myself. Chun grabbed my arm. Elena, don't do anything stupid. Work within the system. Let us handle this. The system killed Alexei Volkov. The system burned me. Excuse me if I don't trust it to fix this. I left headquarters and started making calls. Old contacts from my operational days. People who owed me favors. People who knew how to access information that wasn't supposed to exist. By that evening, I had a lead. A former CIA analyst named Marcus Webb. He'd left the agency under murky circumstances and now worked as a private contractor. If anyone could access those files, it was him. I found him at a bar in Georgetown. He looked older than his photo. Tired. Like he'd seen too much. Elena Carter, he said when I sat down. I wondered if you'd ever reach out. You know who I am? Everyone in the community knows who you are. The ghost who came back. The one who testified and survived. That's impressive. I need your help. I figured. Nobody seeks me out for social calls. What do you need? CIA files. From 2 years ago. About Alexei Volkov's death. His expression changed. That's dangerous territory. I know. But it's important. Important enough to die for? Because that's what happens to people who dig into CIA black site operations. They disappear. I'm already a target. Katya Volkov is hunting me. The only way to stop her is to show her the truth about what happened to her brother. Marcus studied me for a long moment. Then he nodded. I can get you the files. But it'll cost you. How much? Not money. Information. I need to know what really happened with your burn. Why the agency turned on you. What you saw that made them want you erased. I hadn't talked about that in years. Hadn't let myself think about it. But if it meant getting those files, if it meant stopping Katya before more people died, I'd tell him. Mission 20, I said quietly.
Istanbul.
I was sent to eliminate a target. High value.
Suppose the terroriste financier.
But when I got there, when I did my reconnaissance, I realized the intelligence was wrong. He wasn't a terrorist. He was a whistleblower. Someone who discovered CIA funds being diverted into private accounts. They wanted him dead to cover their tracks. And you didn't follow orders. I pulled him out instead. Got him to safety.
Tried to expose what was happening.
That's when they burned me. Erased my identity. Made me disappear. Marcus was quiet. Then, I believe you. Because I left for similar reasons. Found evidence of things I wasn't supposed to find. They gave me a choice. Keep quiet and retire or make noise and disappear.
Il chose retirement.
So you'll help me? I'll get you the files. But Elena, once you have them, once you approach Claudia with this information, there's no going back. The CIA will know someone accessed classified material. They'll come looking. For both of us. I can handle that. Can you? Because from where I'm sitting, you're already fighting a war on two fronts. Claudia Volkov wants you dead. Lorenzo Moretti wants to use you. How many enemies can you handle before you break? As many as it takes. He gave me an address. Meet me here tomorrow night. I'll have the files. But come alone. And Elena, be ready for what you find. Sometimes the truth is worse than the lies. I left the bar and headed back to my apartment. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. Hello.
Elena Carter.
A woman's voice. Accented. Russian. We need to talk. My heart stopped. Claudia?
Yes.
I know you've been investigating me. Asking questions. Talking to Moretti. It's time we met face to face. Where? Tomorrow. Noon. The old pier where your friend Dorothy's diner used to be. Come alone. If I see FBI, if I see anyone but you, I start killing everyone you care about. Starting with Dorothy. Don't touch her. Then come alone. And Elena, bring the truth. I want to know why you killed my brother. She hung up. I stood there, phone in hand, trying to breathe. This was happening. Tomorrow I'd face Claudia Volkov. The woman who'd built an empire in 6 months. Who'd killed 7 people without hesitation. Who blamed me for her brother's death. And I had no idea if I'd survive the conversation. I called Chun. Told her about the meeting. It's a trap, she said immediately. You can't go. I have to. She threatened Dorothy. Then let us set up surveillance. Protection. We can have snipers positioned, tactical teams ready. And the second she sees them, she kills Dorothy.
No.
I'm going alone. Elena, that's suicide. Maybe. But it's the only way to end this without more innocent people dying. Besides, I'll have the CIA files by then. Proof that I didn't betray Alexei. Maybe that's enough to make her stand down. And if it's not, then I handle it the way I was trained to handle impossible situations. I improvise. The next morning, I met Marcus at the address he'd given me. He handed over a flash drive. Everything's on here, he said. The intercepted message from Alexei. The kill order. The after-action reports. All of it. Elena, be careful. This information is explosive. If it gets out, it'll destroy careers. Maybe destroy the agency itself.
Good.
Maybe it should be destroyed. Maybe. But remember, we were part of that agency. We both did terrible things in its name. If it burns, we burn with it. I took the flash drive. Some fires are worth burning in. At 11:30, I headed to the old pier. The same place where Moretti had once tested me. Where I'd chosen to die rather than compromise. The area was abandoned. Condemned after the diner burned down. Just empty buildings and broken concrete. Claudia Volkov was waiting. She stood at the edge of the pier, looking out at the water.
Tall.
Athletic. Moving with the same precise grace I recognized from surveillance footage. Elena Carter, she said without turning around. You're punctual. I appreciate that. You wanted to talk. I'm here. Now, let Dorothy go. Dorothy is safe.
For now.
As long as you tell me the truth. She turned to face me. Up close, she was even more striking. Beautiful and dangerous in equal measure. My brother reached out to you 2 years ago. Tried to warn you about the CIA. Tried to get your help. You never responded. 2 weeks later, he was dead. Tell me why. I pulled out the flash drive. Because I never got his message. The CIA intercepted it. They couldn't risk us connecting. Couldn't risk 2 burned operatives working together. So they killed Alexei and made sure I never knew he'd tried to reach out. You're lying. I'm not. Everything's on this drive. The intercepted message. The kill order. All of it. Katia, I didn't betray your brother. The CIA did. They killed him to cover up their crimes. Just like they tried to kill me. She stared at the drive. How do I know this is real? How do I know you didn't fabricate it? Because I have no reason to lie. Because I'm standing here alone. No backup, no protection, trusting you not to kill me. Because I understand what you're feeling. The rage. The need for revenge. The desire to burn down everything that took someone you loved. Then you understand why I built this empire. Why I took Moretti's organization. Why I've killed everyone connected to it.
No.
I understand the rage, but not the empire. How does taking over organized crime get revenge on the CIA? She smiled. Because Moretti wasn't just a crime boss. He was a CIA asset. They used his organization to move money, to hide operations, to do things off the books. My brother discovered that connection. That's why they killed him. And now I'm exposing it. Every deal I make. Every operation I control. I'm documenting everything. Building a case so airtight that when I release it, the CIA can't deny it. I can't cover it up. You're using Moretti's empire to expose the CIA's corruption. Exactly. And when I have enough evidence, when the case is complete, I'm going public. I'm burning them all. Everyone who killed my brother. Everyone who's used organized crime as a tool. Everyone who thinks they're above the law. It was brilliant. Terrifying, but brilliant. And what happens to me? I asked. That depends. Are you going to help me or stop me? I'm not going to help you build a criminal empire, Katia. No matter how noble your endgame. Then you're my enemy. Or we find a third option. Work together. Use the FBI. My contacts. My access. We expose the CIA legally. Through proper channels. No more killing. No more violence. She laughed.
Professionals.
Elena, they killed my brother through proper channels. They burned you through proper channels. The system is designed to protect itself. The only way to destroy it is from outside. And how many innocent people die while you build your case? How many families get destroyed? How many lives get ruined? As many as it takes. My brother gave everything for the truth. I'm willing to do the same. Even if it makes you exactly what you're fighting against. That stopped her. For just a moment, something flickered in her eyes.
Doubt. Pain.
Recognition. I'm nothing like them, she said quietly.
No?
You've killed 7 people. Taken over a criminal empire. Threatened innocent people. How is that different from what the CIA does? How are you any better? Because I'm fighting for justice. So was I. So was Alexei. But Katia, justice doesn't come from more violence. It comes from exposing the truth and letting the world decide. So here's my offer. Give me the evidence you've gathered. The connections between Moretti and the CIA. Everything. Let me take it through official channels. Let me build a legitimate case. And if that doesn't work, if the system fails again, then we do it your way. She studied me. And if I refuse? Then I stop you. Whatever it takes. Because I won't let you destroy innocent lives to get your revenge. You'd fight me? Former operative against former operative. If I have to. We stood there. 2 ghosts. 2 weapons. 2 women who'd been broken by the same system and rebuilt themselves into something harder. 1 month, Katia finally said. I'll give you 1 month to try it your way. But Elena, if the system fails, if they cover it up or bury it or make it disappear, then I finish what I started. And you don't stop me.
Deal.
She handed me a different flash drive. Everything's on here. Names.
Dates.
Transactions. Proof of the CIA's connection to Moretti's organization. Don't lose it. And don't let them know you have it until you're ready to release everything. I took the drive. What happens now? Now I disappear. Let the FBI think they've scared me off. Let the CIA think I've given up. And you do what you do best. You expose the truth. She started to walk away, then stopped.
Elena?
Thank you. For not betraying my brother. For understanding. For giving me a chance to do this right. Don't thank me yet. We still have to survive the next month. She smiled. We're survivors. It's what we do. Then she was gone. Vanished into the city, like smoke. I stood there holding 2 flash drives. One with proof that I didn't betray Alexei. One with proof that the CIA had been using organized crime as a cover for illegal operations. Either one could get me killed. Together, they were dynamite. I called Chun. I met with Katia. She's standing down. For now. What did you give her? The truth. And a promise. Chun, I need you to trust me. I'm onto something big. But I need time to build the case properly. What kind of big? The kind that explains why Moretti was never touched for 15 years. The kind that connects him to people way above his pay grade. I'll bring you everything. Just give me time. Silence. Then, 1 week, Elena. That's all I can give you. After that, I need answers. 1 week.
Got it.
I hung up and headed back to my apartment. But halfway there, I noticed a tail. Black sedan. 2 cars back. Professional surveillance. Either FBI keeping tabs on me or something worse. I took a random turn. The sedan followed. Another turn. Still there. Not FBI. They'd be better at hiding.
Taya.
They knew I had the files. Knew I was digging into Alexei's death. And they were making sure I understood the consequences. I lost the tail using an old counter-surveillance technique. Doubled back through a shopping mall.
Shuisha Veiklas.
Made it to my apartment clean. But the message was clear. The CIA was watching. And they wouldn't let me expose their secrets without a fight. I uploaded both flash drives to secure cloud storage. Multiple backups. Multiple locations. If something happened to me, if I disappeared, the information would still get out. Then I started going through the files. Building a timeline. Connecting dots. Understanding the full scope of what Moretti and the CIA had been doing together.
What I found made me sick.
For 15 years, the CIA had used Moretti's organization to move money for black site operations, to smuggle weapons to foreign assets, to eliminate targets that couldn't be officially sanctioned. Moretti got protection, got to operate with impunity, and the CIA got a criminal network that could do things they couldn't do officially. It was brilliant. Horrifying but brilliant. And Alexei Volkov had discovered all of it, had tried to expose it, had reached out to me for help, and they'd killed him for it. Now I held the same information, the same proof, the same target on my back. But this time, I wasn't alone. I had Katia. I had Chun. I had evidence and witnesses and a plan. This time the truth was going to come out, even if it killed me. The catastrophe came 3 days into my investigation. I was at FBI headquarters, going through financial records with Chun, when Director Walsh burst into the room. Turn on the news. Now. Chun hit the remote. Every channel showed the same thing. Breaking news. Federal courthouse downtown.
Massive explosion.
At least 12 dead. Dozens injured. My stomach dropped. Bomb went off in courtroom 6, Walsh said. That's where they were hearing pretrial motions for the Cardona case. The Cardona case. Major drug trafficking operation we'd busted 4 months ago. 7 defendants. All connected to what used to be Moretti's distribution network. Katia. I whispered. What?
Chun turned to me.
This is Katia. She's sending a message. Said she'd give me 1 month to do this legally. This is her reminding me what happens if I fail. Walsh's face went red. You've been in contact with the architect? You met with her? I was trying to stop more violence. Trying to make a deal. By negotiating with a terrorist? Carter, what the hell were you thinking? I was thinking 7 people were already dead, and more would follow. I was thinking maybe I could talk her down. How'd that work out? He gestured to the TV. 12 more dead. A federal courthouse bombed. This is an escalation. This is a declaration of war. My phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. Sorry about the mess. But they were Moretti's people. They knew things. Couldn't let them testify. Clock's ticking, Elena. Make your move, or I make mine. I showed the text to Chin. Her face went pale. She's cleaning house, Chin said. Eliminating anyone who might expose her operation before you can build your case. Which means we need to move faster, I said. Get ahead of her.
How?
She just bombed a federal courthouse. She's escalating beyond anything we can control. Then we don't control it. We expose it. Release everything. The CIA files. The Moretti connection. All of it. We go public before she does something worse. Walsh shook his head. We can't release classified CIA files. That's treason. That's prison time for everyone involved. And if we don't, how many more people die while we follow procedure? There has to be another way. But we all knew there wasn't. Katia had forced her hand. Either we exposed everything now, or she'd keep killing until there was nothing left to expose. My phone rang. Moretti. The prison had patched him through. You saw the news, he said when I answered. She bombed a courthouse. She's getting impatient. Worried you're not moving fast enough. This is her pushing you. People died, Moretti. Innocent people.
Guards.
Prosecutors. Not exactly innocent. But yes, collateral damage is unfortunate. Elena, you need to understand something. Katia's not like me. I built slowly.
Carefully.
She's a hammer. She sees a problem and she smashes it.
You won't talk her down.
You won't reason with her. You either give her what she wants or you put her down. I gave her a month. And she's giving you days. Maybe hours. That bombing wasn't just about the Cardona defendants. It was about showing everyone she's still in control. Still dangerous. Still willing to do whatever it takes. How do I stop her? You don't. Not without help. My help. Let me out of here, Elena. Let me deal with her. I know how she thinks. Know how she operates. I can end this. By killing her? By offering her something better than revenge. Something she actually wants. But I can't do that from inside a prison cell. I'm not breaking you out. Then more people die. And their blood is on your hands because you were too principled to make the hard choice. Chun touched my arm. Elena, talk to me. What are you thinking? I'm thinking we're out of options. Katia's escalating. The CIA's watching. Moretti's manipulating from prison. And we're stuck following rules that don't apply anymore. So, what do we do? I looked at the TV. At the smoking ruins of the courthouse. At the body count climbing. We break the rules. We release everything. CIA files. Moretti connections. All of it. We blow this wide open and let the pieces fall where they may. Walsh stepped forward. Carter, I can't authorize that. That's career suicide. That's federal charges for everyone involved. Then don't authorize it. I'll do it myself. Take the fall. But director, if we don't act now, Katia wins. She burns everything down on her terms. At least this way, we control the narrative. And you're willing to go to prison for it. I've been worse places than prison. Chun pulled up a secure terminal. If we're doing this, we need to do it smart. Release through multiple channels simultaneously. Make it impossible to suppress. News outlets. Social media. Congressional oversight committees. Everywhere at once. That'll take time to coordinate, Walsh said. We don't have time, I replied. We do it now.
Tonight.
Before Katia makes another move. Walsh looked at both of us. At the TV. At the evidence spread across the table. This is insane, he said finally. But you're right. We're out of options. Chin, set it up. Carter, start writing your statement. Make it clear. Make it compelling. Make it impossible to ignore. We spent the next 6 hours preparing. Organizing files. Crafting the narrative. Reaching out to journalists we trusted. At midnight, we were ready. Last chance to back out, Walsh said. Once we hit send, there's no taking it back. I thought about Alexei Volkov. About the whistleblower I'd saved in Istanbul. About Dorothy and her diner. About everyone who'd been hurt because people with power chose secrecy over truth. Send it, I said. Chun hit the button. Within minutes, it was everywhere. Every major news outlet. Every social media platform. The full story of CIA black operations. of Moretti's organization serving as a front, of Alexei Volkov's murder, of the conspiracy to cover it all up. The response was immediate, explosive. Senators demanding investigations, news anchors calling for hearings, the internet erupting with outrage. We done it. Exposed everything. Blown the whole conspiracy wide open.
My phone rang. Katya.
You actually did it, she said. Released everything. I didn't think you had it in you. People were dying. I couldn't wait. No, you couldn't. Elena, I underestimated you. You're braver than I thought. Or more foolish. Hard to tell the difference sometimes. What happens now?
Now?
Now the real war begins. The CIA won't let this stand. They'll come after you. After everyone involved. You just declared war on the most powerful intelligence agency in the world. I know. And you're ready for that fight? I don't have a choice. She laughed. Neither did I. Welcome to the other side, Elena. Welcome to being the person everyone wants dead. It's liberating, isn't it? No more rules. No more pretending. Just survival. This isn't about survival. It's about justice.
Keep telling yourself that.
But when they come for you, when they send their contractors and their assassins and their legal teams, you'll realize survival is all that matters. Call me when you figure that out. We'll make a good team. She hung up. Chun was monitoring the response. It's working. Congressional committees are calling emergency sessions. DOJ is opening investigations. CIA director is being called to testify. Elena, we did it. But something felt wrong. Too easy. Too clean. Turn on the news, I said. Chun switched channels. Every station was covering our leak. But then the coverage changed. A new story breaking. We're receiving reports that Elena Carter, the FBI consultant who released these documents, is herself under investigation for fabricating evidence. Sources within the CIA claim the documents are forgeries. That Carter manufactured this conspiracy to cover up her own misconduct during her time as an operative. My blood went cold.
They're discrediting you, Walsh said.
Attacking your credibility before the evidence can be verified. More breaking news.
Photos of me.
Old operational photos that shouldn't exist. Photos from missions that were supposed to be classified. FBI consultant Elena Carter, seen here during a Black Ops mission in Syria. Questions now arising about her own involvement in illegal operations. Was she a whistleblower or a participant? Did she fabricate these documents to deflect from her own crimes? This is a setup, Chin said. They're turning this around, making you the villain. My phone exploded with calls. Reporters. Lawyers. People I didn't know demanding interviews. Demanding answers. Then Director Walsh's phone rang. He listened. His face went gray. Carter, you're suspended. Effective immediately. Justice Department is opening an investigation into your conduct. You're ordered to surrender your credentials and remain available for questioning. You're joking. I wish I was. Elena, they're moving fast. Faster than I've ever seen. Someone with serious power wants you neutralized. The CIA. Or someone protecting the CIA. Either way, you're in danger. Real danger. I suggest you lawyer up and stay out of sight until this blows over. It's not going to blow over. They're going to bury this. Bury me. Make me disappear. Chun grabbed my arm. Then we fight back. We prove the documents are real. We get independent verification. From who? Every agency is compromised. Every institution is connected. Chun, they've already won. They controlled the narrative before we even released it. Walsh looked defeated. What do you want to do? I thought about Katya. About her offer. About working outside the system, because the system was designed to protect itself. I need to disappear. Really disappear. If I stay, they'll arrest me.
Discredit me.
Make everything I've said look like the ravings of a paranoid operative. But if I'm gone, if I'm out there gathering more evidence, building a better case, maybe I can actually win this. That's running, Elena. That makes you look guilty. I am guilty. Of exposing the truth. Of refusing to stay quiet. Of being a problem they can't control. So yes, I'm running. But I'm not giving up. Chen pulled out a burner phone. Take this. It's clean. Untraceable. I'll be your contact on the inside. Feed you information. Help you build the case. Chen, you'll lose your job. Probably face charges yourself. I know. But you were right. Some fires are worth burning in.
Go.
Before they send federal marshals. I grabbed my go bag. Always kept one packed. Old habits. Walsh stopped me at the door. Carter, for what it's worth, I believe you. I believe everything in those files. And when this is over, when the truth finally comes out, I'll testify to that. Thank you, sir. I left FBI headquarters for the last time. Federal agent turned fugitive in one night. My phone buzzed. Text from Katia. Told you the system would fail. Ready to do this my way now? Meet me at the old warehouse district. Pier 7. We have work to do. I stood on the street, watching federal buildings light up with activity. Watching my career. My life. My identity burned down for the second time. I could run. Disappear. Spend the rest of my life hiding. Or I could fight. Partner with Katia. Become exactly what the CIA claimed I was. Neither option was good. Both led to darkness. But standing still meant letting them win. Meant letting Alexei's death. The courthouse bombing. All of it be for nothing. I texted Katia back. I'm coming. But we do this smart. No more bombs. No more innocent casualties. We're gathering evidence. Building an airtight case. And when we're ready, we burn them all. Together. Her response came immediately. Finally. Welcome to the revolution, Elena. Let's make them pay. I got in my car and drove toward the warehouse district. Toward Katia. Toward a partnership I knew would probably destroy me. But maybe some things were worth being destroyed for. Maybe truth was one of them. The warehouse district at 2 a.m. looked like the end of the world. Abandoned buildings. Broken windows. The kind of place where bad things happened and nobody asked questions. Katia was waiting inside Pier 7. She'd set up a command center. Multiple computers. Surveillance equipment. Maps covering the walls with photos and connections drawn between them. Impressive response time, she said when I walked in. 3 hours ago you were FBI. Now you're a fugitive meeting with a wanted criminal. That's quite a fall. Let's skip the commentary and get to work. You said we're doing this smart. What's the plan? She pulled up files on the main screen. The CIA's counterattack was coordinated. Too coordinated. Someone knew exactly what documents you had. Exactly how to discredit them. Which means someone's been watching you since before you released anything. I lost a CIA tail 3 days ago. Not well enough, apparently. They've been monitoring everything. Your communications. Your movements. They knew you'd release the files. They were ready. My stomach tightened. How do you know this? Because I've been monitoring them monitoring you. Elena, you're good. But you've been out of the field too long. You forgot the first rule. Always assume someone's watching. She pulled up surveillance footage. Me leaving FBI headquarters. Me meeting with Marcus Webb. Me at the prison visiting Moretti. They have everything, I said. Everything you did openly. But not everything you did carefully. Those backup files you uploaded to secure cloud storage? Still safe. They don't know about those. And they don't know about me helping you. Yet. So what's our move? Katia brought up a photo. Man in his 50s. Silver hair. Expensive suit. James Hardwick. Deputy Director of the CIA's Special Activities Center. He ran the operation that killed my brother. He's also the one coordinating the campaign against you. Take him down, and the whole conspiracy unravels. How do we prove he's involved? We don't prove it. We make him confess.
Publicly.
On camera. In a way he can't deny or spin. And how exactly do we do that? She smiled. Hardwick has secrets. Big ones. Affairs.
Bribes.
Illegal operations even the CIA doesn't know about. We gather evidence. Apply pressure. Make him choose between confessing to Alexei's murder or having his entire life destroyed. That's blackmail. That's justice. You wanted to do this smart. This is smart. We're not killing anyone. We're not bombing anything. We're using the same tactics they use. Leverage. Pressure. Consequences. I didn't like it, but she was right. We'd tried the legal route. They'd crushed it in hours. Fighting them required fighting dirty. What do you need from me? Access. You still have FBI contacts. People who trust you. People who can get us information we can't access from outside. Chin, for example. She's still feeding you intel. Yes. Good. We need everything the FBI has on Hardwick. Financial records. Travel logs. Communications. Anything that shows his connection to illegal operations. I pulled out the burner phone Chin gave me. Texted her. Need deep dive on James Hardwick. CIA Deputy Director. Everything you can find. Especially anything that connects him to black site operations or Alexei Volkov's death. Her response came fast. That's dangerous territory. Hardwick is untouchable, but I'll see what I can dig up. Give me 24 hours. I showed Katia the message. 24 hours, she said. Meanwhile, we work on Plan B. Which is? Moretti. He offered to help. Said he could give you what you needed to stop me. But Elena, what he really offered was access.
To his old network.
His connections. People who know where all the CIA's bodies are buried. You want me to work with Moretti? The man I put in prison? The man who has information we need. Look, I know it's distasteful, but we're past the point of clean hands. You became a fugitive the moment you released those files. Might as well make it count. She wasn't wrong. But working with Moretti felt like crossing a line I couldn't uncross. Let me think about it. Think fast. Because while you're deciding, Hardwick's building his case against you. By tomorrow, you'll be on every watch list. Every law enforcement agency hunting you. Every border crossing flagged. You'll be trapped. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. Elena, it's Marcus Webb. We need to talk.
Now. I'm listening.
The CIA knows I accessed those files. They know I gave them to you. I've got 2 black SUVs outside my apartment right now. I'm about to be disappeared. My blood ran cold. Get out. Run. Where? They've got surveillance on every exit. Every vehicle. Elena, I'm calling because you need to know. They're not just coming for me. They're coming for everyone connected to this. Dorothy. Chen. Anyone you've talked to in the last month. They're cleaning house. Dorothy? They wouldn't. They bombed a courthouse. You think they'll hesitate to eliminate a retired diner owner?
Get to her. Now.
Before they do. He hung up. I looked at Katia. We need to move. They're targeting my people. Then we split up. I'll handle Marcus. Get him out. You get Dorothy to safety. Meet back here in 3 hours. How will you find Marcus? I've been tracking him since you first met with him. I track everyone connected to this, Elena. It's how I stay alive.
Now go.
Your friend's running out of time. I ran to my car. Drove toward Dorothy's house. Called her on the way. No answer. Called again. Nothing. My heart hammered.
Please be okay.
Please just be sleeping.
Please.
I reached her neighborhood. Small houses. Quiet streets. Normal life. Except for the black sedan parked 3 houses down from Dorothy's. Professional surveillance.
Same type that had followed me.
I parked 2 blocks away. Approached on foot. Staying in shadows. Using techniques I hadn't needed in years. The sedan had 2 occupants. Watching Dorothy's house. Waiting. For what? For her to leave? For backup? For orders? I circled around. Came at Dorothy's house from the back. Her kitchen light was on. She was awake. I knocked softly on the back door. She opened it.
Saw me.
Her face flooded with relief. Elena, thank God. I've been trying to call you. There are men outside. They've been there for an hour. Just sitting. Watching. I know. Dorothy, you need to pack a bag.
Right now.
We're leaving. What's happening? Same people who burned me the first time are doing it again. And you're on their list because you helped me. Because you're my friend.
So we need to go. Now.
She didn't argue, just grabbed a bag and started packing. That's what I loved about Dorothy.
No panic.
No questions, just action. Where are we going? Somewhere safe. Somewhere they can't find you. And you? What about you? I'm finishing what I started. Exposing the truth. Making them pay. She stopped packing. Looked at me.
And, hey.
I've known you for 6 years. Watched you rebuild your life after they destroyed it the first time. And now you're doing it again. Fighting them again. When does it stop? When they're held accountable. When people like Alexei Volkov don't get murdered for telling the truth. When the system actually works the way it's supposed to. And if that never happens, if you fight and nothing changes, then at least I fought. At least I tried. Dorothy, I can't let this go. Not this time. She hugged me.
Tight.
I know. Just promise me you'll survive this. Promise me I won't lose you. I promise. We left through the back, moved quickly through neighboring yards, reached my car without the surveillance team spotting us. I drove for 20 minutes, making sure we weren't followed, then pulled into a motel parking lot. You're staying here tonight. Different name. Pay cash. Don't call anyone. Don't use your phone. In the morning, there's a bus to Portland. Take it. I've got a friend there who'll keep you safe until this is over. How will I know when it's over? You'll know. The news will be full of it.
Teja directors resigning.
Investigations. Trials. You'll know. She took the cash I offered. What if it goes the other way? What if they win? They won't. But if they do? Then stay hidden. Stay safe. And remember that I tried. I hugged her one more time, then left before she could see me cry. By the time I got back to the warehouse, Katia had returned with Marcus. He looked shaken but alive. They were seconds away from grabbing me, he said. Katia pulled up, shot out their tires, got me out while they were scrambling. You shot at CIA operatives? Katia shrugged. Barely. Just scared them. But yes, we've now officially moved from surveillance to active combat.
They know I'm involved.
Know we're working together, which means the timeline just accelerated. My phone buzzed.
Chen.
I've got what you asked for on Hardwick. But Elena, it's worse than we thought. He's not just connected to black site operations. He's running his own side business, using CIA resources to eliminate targets for private clients. Assassinations for hire, under the cover of official operations. Can you prove it? I've got financial records, payments from offshore accounts, communications with known criminals. It's all here. But Elena, this is death penalty level treason. If we release this, Hardwick doesn't just lose his job. He goes to prison for life or worse. Then we use it as leverage. Make him confess to Alexei's murder in exchange for keeping the assassination business quiet. That's a deal with the devil. I'm making a lot of those lately. Send me everything. We move tonight. I hung up, looked at Katia and Marcus. We've got leverage on Hardwick. Enough to make him talk. But we need to approach him carefully. He's dangerous. Connected. If we push too hard, he'll push back harder. Katia pulled up a file. Hardwick has a mistress. Laura Chen. Investment banker. Lives in a penthouse downtown. He visits her every Thursday night. That's tomorrow. We grab him there. Away from CIA security. Away from backup. Just him and us. And then what? Then we make our offer. Confess to murdering Alexei and covering up CIA corruption. Do it on camera. Do it publicly. And in exchange, we don't release the evidence of his assassination business. He'll never agree.
He will. Because the alternative is death. Either from the CIA when they find out he's been freelancing, or from us if he refuses to cooperate. He's a survivor. He'll take the deal. Marcus spoke up. And if he doesn't? If he calls our bluff? Then we release everything, I said. The assassination evidence. The CIA corruption. All of it. And we let the pieces fall where they may. We spent the next 24 hours preparing, building our case, planning the approach, making sure every angle was covered.
Chun sent over Hardwick's files. They were devastating. Proof of at least 7 assassinations carried out under CIA cover, but paid for by private clients. Millions in offshore accounts. Communications that couldn't be explained away. This ends him, Marcus said, reading through the files. Even the CIA can't protect him from this. Which is why he'll deal, Katia replied. He's got nowhere else to go. Thursday night arrived. We positioned ourselves outside Laura Chen's building. Hardwick arrived at 8, right on schedule. We gave him 30 minutes. Let him get comfortable. Let his guard down. Then we went in. Katia had already disabled building security. We took the elevator to the penthouse. Knocked on the door. Laura answered. Saw 3 strangers. Started to scream. Katia moved fast. Hand over her mouth. We're not here for you. We're here for him. Stay quiet and you'll be fine. We pushed inside. Hardwick was in the living room, drink in hand. He saw us and went pale. Elena Carter, he said. I wondered when you'd show up. We need to talk. About what? Your conspiracy theories? Your fabricated documents? Carter, you're finished. By tomorrow, you'll be in custody. This little stunt just adds kidnapping to your charges. I pulled out a tablet, showed him the assassination files. His face went gray. That's right, I said. We know about your side business. Know about the private hits, the offshore accounts, everything. So here's the deal. You confess, on camera, to murdering Alexei Volkov, to covering up CIA corruption, to everything. And we keep this quiet. We don't release the assassination evidence. And if I refuse, then we release everything. The CIA finds out you've been freelancing, using their resources for private profit, killing people who weren't sanctioned targets. How long do you think you survive after that? He looked at the files. At us. At Laura cowering in the corner. You're bluffing. You release those files, you go down too. Carter, you accessed classified information. Stole government property. You're already facing prison. Adding more charges doesn't scare me. Maybe not. But it scares the people who hired you. The ones who paid for those assassinations. When this goes public, they'll want to tie up loose ends. And you're a loose end. That got him. I could see it in his eyes. The calculation. The fear. You have 1 hour to decide, Katia said. Confess or burn. Your choice. We left him there. Went back to our vehicle. Waited. 45 minutes later, his phone call came. I'll do it. I'll confess. But not on camera. Written statement. Signed and notarized. That's my offer. Not good enough. We need video. We need your face. Your voice. Admitting what you did. Then we don't have a deal. Then we release the files. Right now. Every news outlet. Every congressional committee. Your assassination business goes public in the next 60 seconds. Silence. Long silence. Fine. Video. But I want guarantees. Legal immunity for the assassination charges. Witness protection. A way out. You'll get a fair trial. That's the guarantee. You confess. You face justice. But you're not murdered in your sleep by your former clients. That's the deal. More silence. Where and when? Tomorrow. Noon. Federal building downtown. We'll have cameras. Lawyers. Everything official. You show up. You confess. You answer questions. And then we let the system handle it. You're trusting the system now? After everything? No. I'm trusting that video evidence of a CIA deputy director confessing to murder is too big to bury. Even for them. He hung up. Katia looked at me. Think he'll show? He'll show. He's got no other choice. We've backed him into a corner. Now we just need to make sure he actually goes through with it. We drove back to the warehouse. Prepared for tomorrow. Set up cameras. Contacted lawyers. Made sure everything was ready. But something felt wrong. Too easy. Too clean. Katia, I said. What if this is a trap? What if Hardwick shows up with a tactical team instead of a confession? Then we fight our way out. Elena, We're past the point of safe options. Every choice from here is dangerous. We just have to pick which danger we can handle. My phone buzzed. Chun. Elena, something's happening. Hardwick just called an emergency meeting with the CIA director. They're moving assets, repositioning teams. I think he's preparing to make a move. What kind of move? I don't know, but it's big, and it's happening fast. Be careful tomorrow. This could go sideways. I hung up, looked at Katia and Marcus. Hardwick's making his own play.
Setting up something.
Tomorrow might not go the way we planned. Then we adapt, Katia said. We've both survived worse than a CIA deputy director's backup plan. Have we, though? Because this feels different. This feels like we're walking into something we won't walk out of. Marcus spoke up. Maybe that's okay. Maybe some things are worth not walking out of.
Alexei thought that.
He was willing to die to expose the truth. Maybe we need to be willing to do the same. He was right, but that didn't make it easier. We spent the night preparing, planning contingencies, making sure that even if tomorrow went wrong, even if we didn't survive, the truth would still get out. I recorded a video, explaining everything. Names,
dates,
evidence, all of it. Set it to upload automatically if I didn't check in by tomorrow night.
Katia did the same.
Marcus too. 3 insurance policies. 3 ways the truth survives even if we don't. At dawn, Jin called. They're moving. Hardwick, the CIA director, tactical teams. All converging on the federal building. Elena, this is a setup. They're not letting him confess. They're there to take you down. How many? We arrived at the federal building at 11:45. 15 minutes early. The plaza was empty. Too empty.
No civilians.
No regular foot traffic. They'd cleared the area. Trap confirmed, Katia said quietly. We still going in? We're already here. Might as well see it through. We walked toward the entrance. My heart hammered. Every instinct screamed danger. But we kept moving. The doors opened. Hardwick stood inside. Alone. No tactical team.
No backup.
Just him. Carter. Volkov.
Webb.
Punctual. I appreciate that. Where's your team?
I asked.
Nearby.
Watching.
Waiting to see if you're actually stupid enough to go through with this. We had a deal. You confess. We protect you. He laughed. You actually thought I'd confess? Destroy my career? My life? For what? Your sense of justice. For the truth about Alexei Volkov. Alexei Volkov was a traitor. He threatened national security. He deserved what he got. And you, Carter, you're about to get the same. The doors behind us locked. Automated. Controlled remotely. We were trapped. Tactical teams emerged from side corridors. 20 armed operatives. All weapons trained on us. Here's what's actually going to happen, Hardwick said. You're going to be arrested. Charged with terrorism. Conspiracy. Treason. Every crime we can make stick. Those videos you made? Already intercepted. Already deleted. Your insurance policies?
Gone.
You've got nothing. My stomach dropped. You knew about the videos? We've been inside your communications since day one. Every call. Every text. Every plan. Carter, you never had a chance. This was always going to end with you in custody or dead. Katia moved fast. Gun out. Aimed at Hardwick. Then let's go with dead. Shoot me and 20 operators kill you instantly. Is that really how you want this to end? Better than prison? Is it? Because in prison, you're just another inmate. Nobody. Forgotten. But dead? Dead you become a martyr. Someone others rally behind. We can't have that. So you're going to prison, where you'll disappear, where nobody will ever hear from you again. I looked at Katia, at Marcus, at the operators surrounding us. We'd lost.
Completely. Totally.
They'd outplayed us at every turn. Drop your weapons, Hardwick ordered. Get on your knees. Hands behind your heads. It's over. Katia's finger tightened on the trigger. She was going to shoot, going to force them to kill her rather than surrender. Don't, I said quietly. We're not dying here. Not like this. Then how? We surrender and disappear forever. We surrender and survive. As long as we're alive, there's a chance. We can regroup, find another way, but dead, we're just casualties. Nothing more. She lowered her weapon. Marcus did the same. We dropped to our knees, hands behind our heads. Tactical teams moved in. Zip ties, rough hands, professional efficiency. Elena Carter, Katia Volkov, Marcus Webb, you're under arrest for terrorism, conspiracy against the United States, theft of classified documents, and treason, Hardwick said. Take them away. They dragged us to separate vehicles. I lost sight of Katia and Marcus as they shoved me into a black SUV. We drove for hours.
No windows.
No sense of direction. Just darkness and the hum of the engine. When we finally stopped, they pulled me out. Federal Detention Center. Maximum security. Processing took hours. Photos. Fingerprints. Strip search. Medical exam. All of it designed to break you down. Make you feel powerless. Then they threw me in a cell. 6 by 8 feet. Concrete walls. Metal bed. Toilet in the corner. This was my life now. This was how it ended. I sat on the bed. Tried not to think about Dorothy. About Chun. About everyone I'd failed. The door opened. Hardwick walked in. Alone. Comfortable. What do you want? To explain something. You think you're the hero in this story. The whistleblower. The truth teller. But Carter, you're not. You're a pawn. A useful idiot who served her purpose and is now being discarded. What purpose? Moretti. This was always about Moretti. He needed someone to take down his organization so he could rebuild it from prison. Someone to eliminate his competition. To expose the CIA's connections so he could leverage that information. You did exactly what he wanted. Every step. Every move. You were his weapon. And you never even knew it. My blood turned to ice. You're lying. Am I? Why do you think he pushed you to investigate Katia? Why do you think he gave you just enough information to keep digging but never enough to actually solve anything? He was using you. Using both of you. To destroy his old empire, so he could build a new one. More powerful. More connected. Untouchable. That doesn't make sense. Moretti's in prison.
For now.
But with the CIA exposed, with their protection gone, with his organization fractured and ready to be rebuilt, he becomes invaluable. The man who can put it all back together. Who can offer stability. The FBI will cut a deal. Give him immunity. Let him out. And he'll emerge more powerful than ever. I wanted to call him a liar. Wanted to deny it. But the pieces fit. Too perfectly. Moretti had played us. All of us. Even if that's true, it doesn't change what you did. You still killed Alexei Volkov. You still covered up CIA corruption. And none of that matters. Because nobody will ever know. Your evidence is gone. Your witnesses are in custody. Your story dies here. In this cell. With you. He stood to leave. Oh, and Carter? Katia Volkov didn't make it to processing. Tried to escape. Got shot. Died en route to the hospital. Tragic. But at least now she's with her brother. The door slammed shut. I sat there.
Numb.
Katia was dead. Marcus was in custody somewhere. I was buried in a hole with no way out. We'd lost everything. And Moretti had won. Days blurred together. No lawyer.
No arraignment.
No contact with the outside world. Just isolation and silence. Then on day 7, the door opened again. Not Hardwick this time. Director Walsh. Carter. You look terrible.
Funny.
I feel terrible. He sat across from me.
I'm sorry.
About all of this. I tried to stop it. Tried to intervene. But Hardwick has connections I didn't know about. He shut me down at every turn. Why are you here? Because Chun found something. Something big. Something that changes everything. He pulled out a tablet. Showed me a video. Moretti. In prison. On a phone call. Talking to someone. Yeah. Carter's doing exactly what we need. Taking down the old guard. Exposing the CIA. By the time she's done, my organization will be ready for a complete rebuild. And I'll be the only one who can do it. The FBI will have no choice but to deal with me. The voice on the other end responded. And if she figures it out? She won't. She's too focused on justice. On doing the right thing. She can't see she's being played. The video ended. Walsh looked at me. Chun intercepted this yesterday. Moretti's been working with Hardwick the whole time. Planning this. Using you to destroy his old empire, so he could negotiate his release. Katia. Did she really die?
No.
That was another lie. She's in custody.
Alive.
They just wanted you to think she was dead. Wanted you broken. Hopeless. Relief flooded through me. Where is she? Same facility. Different wing. Carter, we can still fix this. We've got Moretti's confession. Proof of his conspiracy with Hardwick. Proof that they manipulated everything. It's enough to reopen the case. To expose the real conspiracy. And what happens to me? You'll face charges. For theft of classified information. For going rogue. But with this new evidence, with Moretti's confession, the terrorism and treason charges go away. You're looking at maybe 2 years. Maybe less with time served and cooperation. 2 years. After everything, 2 years. What about Katia? Marcus. Same deal. They cooperate, they testify, they serve reduced sentences. Then they're free. And Hardwick goes down for conspiracy, murder, everything, along with Moretti. Both of them face life sentences. It wasn't perfect, but it was justice. Real justice. When do we start?
Now.
But Carter, there's one problem. We need leverage. Something to force Hardwick to actually stand trial instead of disappearing into CIA protection. Something that proves the conspiracy beyond any doubt. Like what? Like Moretti himself.
Testifying.
Confessing everything. On the record. In court. He's the only one who can connect all the pieces. Prove that Hardwick helped him manipulate you. That they worked together to destroy evidence. All of it. Moretti will never testify. He's got nothing to gain. Unless we offer him something, he wants more than freedom. There's nothing he wants more than freedom. Walsh smiled.
Wrong.
There's something he wants more. Revenge on Hardwick for double-crossing him. Hardwick double-crossed Moretti? Found out yesterday. Hardwick was supposed to get Moretti released within 6 months. That was the deal. But instead, Hardwick's been working to keep him locked up permanently. To use him as a scapegoat for everything. Moretti just found out. And he's furious. This was it. The opening we needed. Set up the meeting. Let me talk to Moretti. I'll get him to testify. You sure? He's used you before. He'll try to use you again. I know. But this time, I'm ready for it. This time, I use him right back. They transported me to the prison the next morning. Federal marshals. Heavy security.
No chances.
Moretti was waiting in the same visiting room where this had all started. He smiled when he saw me.
Elena.
Back so soon. I thought you'd be locked away for life by now. Turns out your friend Hardwick lied to both of us. His smile faded.
I'm listening.
He was never going to get you released. The whole plan was to use you as a scapegoat. Make it look like you manipulated everyone. Take the fall for everything while he walks away clean. You've been set up. Again. Prove it. Walsh handed over documents through the glass. Communications between Hardwick and the CIA director. Plans to keep Moretti imprisoned indefinitely. To blame everything on him. Moretti read them. His face went cold.
Hard.
That son of a bitch. So, now you have a choice. Go down alone for everything. Spend the rest of your life in prison knowing Hardwick betrayed you. Or testify. Tell the truth. Bring him down with you. And what do I get? Reduced sentence. Maybe 20 years instead of life. And the satisfaction of watching Hardwick lose everything. He considered it. Long silence. What about you? What happens to you when this is over? 2 years. Maybe less. Then I'm free. And Katia? Same. You trust Walsh? Trust that he'll actually follow through on this deal? More than I trust you. More than I trust Hardwick. So yes. Moretti laughed. Fair enough. All right. I'll testify. I'll tell them everything. But Elena, when this is over, when we're both out, you and I are going to have a conversation. About what you owe me. About what comes next. I don't owe you anything. You owe me everything. I gave you Katia. Gave you the connections. The information. Everything you needed to expose Hardwick. Without me, you'd still be clueless. So yes, you owe me. And someday I'll collect. I wanted to argue. To tell him to go to hell. But he was right. Without him, none of this would have happened. For better or worse, I was in his debt.
Fine.
We'll talk. When we're both free. Until then, you testify. You tell the truth. All of it. Deal. The next 2 weeks were a blur. Lawyers. Depositions. Preparing testimony. Building the case against Hardwick. They moved me to a better facility. Minimum security. Let me see Katia and Marcus. Katia looked thin. Tired. But alive. Unbroken. They told me you were dead. I said when we finally got to talk. They told me the same about you. Guess they wanted us both to give up. Stop fighting. Did you? For about 5 minutes. Then I remembered who I am. Who we are. Survivors. Fighters. People who don't give up. Moretti played us. Used us to destroy his own empire, so he could rebuild it. I know. Figured that out about day 3 in custody. But Elena, even knowing that, I don't regret it. Because we still exposed the truth. Still brought down Hardwick. Still made them pay for Alexei. Was it worth it? All of this?
The deaths.
The destruction. The cost. She was quiet. Then, ask me again in 20 years. When we're both free. When we can look back with perspective. Right now, I'm too close to it.
Too angry.
Too hurt. Fair enough. Marcus joined us. He looked better than both of us. Calmer. More at peace. I've been offered witness protection, he said. New identity. New life. After I testify, I disappear. Never see either of you again.
You should take it, I said.
This world, these people, they'll never stop hunting you if you stay visible. I know, but it feels like running, like hiding. Sometimes running is the smartest thing you can do. Sometimes survival is the victory. He nodded. What about you two? What's your plan after this? Katia and I looked at each other. I don't know, I admitted. I've spent so long fighting, so long chasing justice. I don't know what comes next. Peace, Katia said quietly. That's what comes next. Whatever that looks like. Wherever we can find it. The trial started 3 weeks later. Federal courthouse. Full media coverage. The whole country watching. Moretti testified first. Laid out everything. His deal with Hardwick. The manipulation. The conspiracy. All of it. Hardwick's lawyers tried to discredit him. Called him a liar. A criminal. Someone whose word meant nothing. But then Walsh testified. Backed up Moretti's story with evidence. Documents. Communications. Recordings. Then me. Then Katia. Then Marcus. One by one, we told our stories. Piece by piece, we built the case. The jury deliberated for 6 hours.
Guilty.
On all counts. Hardwick would spend the rest of his life in prison. The CIA director resigned. 3 other senior officials followed. Congressional investigations launched. The whole agency under scrutiny. We'd done it. Exposed the corruption. Brought down the conspirators. Won. But it didn't feel like winning. It felt like surviving. Sentencing came 2 months later. Moretti got 25 years. With credit for time served and good behavior, he'd be eligible for parole in 12. Katia got 18 months. Already served 6. 1 year left. Marcus got probation and entered witness protection. We said goodbye knowing we'd never see him again. I got 2 years. With time served, 18 months remaining. They sent me to a minimum security facility in Pennsylvania. More campus than prison. I had a roommate, a job in the library, regular meals, phone calls once a week. It could have been worse. Much worse. Dorothy visited every month, brought books,
Told me about her life.
about the new diner she'd opened in Portland.
About customers who asked about me.
Chun visited too. She'd been suspended from the FBI, but not fired. Desk duty until the investigations concluded. She was optimistic about getting reinstated. You're a hero, she said during one visit. People are calling you brave, courageous, someone who stood up to power. I'm a felon in prison. You're someone who exposed massive corruption, who brought down a CIA conspiracy, who saved lives. That matters more than a criminal record. Does it? Because from here, it doesn't feel like it matters at all. It will. When you're out, when you can see what you've accomplished, it will matter. I wanted to believe her. 6 months into my sentence, I got an unexpected visitor. Lorenzo Moretti. They'd transferred him to the same facility for unknown reasons. Probably so he could have this conversation.
Anna.
You're looking well. Prison agrees with you. What do you want, Moretti? To make good on our deal. To discuss what comes next. You owe me a conversation. Here it is.
Fine.
Talk. When we're both out, I'm going to rebuild. Not the criminal empire. Something different. Something legitimate. But powerful. Influential. And I want you to be part of it. Not interested. You haven't heard the offer yet. I'm building a private security firm. Corporate investigations. Executive protection. White-collar stuff. Legal. Profitable. And I need someone like you. Someone with your skills. Your connections. Your reputation. My reputation as a convicted felon? Your reputation as someone who can't be bought. Can't be intimidated. Can't be stopped. That's valuable. More valuable than you know. And what's in it for you? Profit. Influence. A second act that doesn't end in prison. Elena, I'm 62 years old. I've spent 30 years building criminal enterprises. Made millions. Lost millions. Hurt people. Destroyed lives. And for what? To die in a cell? I want something different. Something that matters. And I think you want the same. He wasn't wrong. I'd spent the last 6 months thinking about what came next. What I'd do when I was free. How I'd rebuild my life. Let me think about it. Take your time. You've got a year. I've got 12. But Elena, when we're both out, when we're both free, remember this conversation. Remember that there's a path forward. One that uses everything we've learned. Everything we've survived. For something better. He left. I sat there thinking about his offer. About what came next. About whether someone like me could ever really build something legitimate after everything I'd done. 3 months later, I got another visitor. This one surprised me even more. Katya Volkov. She'd been released early. Good behavior. Cooperation with ongoing investigations. You're out, I said, trying not to sound jealous. 3 days ago. Thought I'd visit before disappearing. Disappearing where? Somewhere quiet. Somewhere I can think. Process. Figure out who I am without the rage. Without the mission. Any ideas?
Not yet.
But, Elena, I wanted to say thank you. For everything. For helping me expose the truth about Alexei. For fighting beside me. For understanding. We lost more than we won. Maybe. But we survived. And sometimes that's enough. Is it? Because I keep thinking about everyone who didn't survive. The courthouse victims. The people caught in the crossfire. Was justice for Alexei worth all those lives? She was quiet for a long time. I don't know. I tell myself yes. That exposing corruption, stopping Hardwick, preventing future deaths, all of that justifies the cost. But late at night, when I can't sleep, I'm not sure. I'm not sure of anything anymore. What will you do? After you disappear? Maybe nothing. Maybe I just exist for a while.
No missions. No revenge.
No grand purpose. Just breathing. Living.
Being.
Sounds nice. It does, doesn't it? Elena, when you get out, if you ever want to find me, I'll leave word with Dorothy. Where I am. How to reach me. Just in case you need someone who understands. Who's been through the same darkness. I'd like that. She hugged me.
Quick. Tight.
Then left. I watched her go, wondering if I'd ever see her again. Wondering if either of us would ever really escape what we'd done. What we'd become. The rest of my sentence passed slowly. Monotonous. Quiet. I worked in the library. Read everything I could. Took online classes. Tried to prepare for whatever came next. Dorothy kept visiting. Kept telling me about the outside world. About the investigations still ongoing. About public opinion shifting. About opportunities waiting when I got out. There's a job waiting for you, she said during one visit. At my diner. Whenever you're ready. No pressure.
No expectations.
Just honest work and a fresh start. I appreciate that. But you're thinking about something else. Something bigger. Maybe. I don't know yet. I keep thinking about what Moretti said. About building something legitimate. Something that uses my skills for good. You could do that. You're smart. Capable.
Brave.
You could build anything you want. Could I? Or am I too damaged? Too broken? Too compromised? Honey, we're all damaged. We're all broken. The question isn't whether you're compromised. It's whether you let that define you, or whether you build something despite it. She was right. I knew she was right. But knowing and believing are different things. My release date finally came. 18 months after sentencing. 2 years after everything started. They processed me out. Gave me civilian clothes. Released my belongings. Handed me a check for prison wages earned. Dorothy was waiting outside.
Smiling. Crying.
Welcome back, she said, hugging me tight. Thanks. It's good to be back. What now? I looked at the sky. At the world. At freedom. Now I decide who I want to be. What I want to build. How I want to live. Any ideas? A few. But first I need to find Katia. Need to have a conversation. About what we survived. About what comes next. About whether two broken people can build something whole. And after that? After that, I figure out my impossible choice. Do I take Moretti's offer? Build something legitimate from a criminal foundation? Or do I walk away completely? Start fresh with nothing but Dorothy's diner and a clean slate? What does your gut say? My gut says there's no such thing as a clean slate. Says the past always follows you. Says the only way forward is to embrace what you've been and build something better from it. Then do that. Build something better. You've got the skills, the experience, the strength. Use them. She was right, and I knew it. But first, I had to find Katia. Had to make sure she was okay. Had to see if we could both survive the peace after so much war. Finding Katia took 3 weeks. She'd left word with Dorothy, like she promised. Small town in Montana. Middle of nowhere. New name. New life. I drove there.
Took my time.
Watched the landscape change. Cities to plains to mountains. America stretching out endless and beautiful. She was working at a bookstore. Small place. Local. The kind where everyone knows your name. She looked different.
Softer.
Calmer. Like she'd finally stopped running. Elena, she said when I walked in. Surprised but not shocked. I wondered if you'd come. Had to see if you were real. If peace was actually possible. Is it? You tell me. You're the one living it. She smiled. It's strange. Quiet. Sometimes boring. But yes, it's real. And it's good. We talked for hours. About prison. About adjusting. About the nightmares that still came sometimes. About the guilt that never fully disappeared. Moretti offered me a job. I said finally. Building a private security firm. Legitimate work. Good money. A second act. You going to take it? I don't know. Part of me thinks yes. Use my skills for something productive. Build something that matters. But another part thinks I should walk away completely. Work at Dorothy's diner. Live a normal life. Let Elena Carter disappear. Can't do both. Can I? Can someone like me ever be normal? Ever be anything other than what I was trained to be?
Katia thought about it.
I don't think normal exists for people like us. We've seen too much, done too much. But I think peace exists. And purpose. And meaning. Maybe that's enough. Is it enough for you? Most days. Some days I want to burn the world down again. Want to fight. Want to rage. But those days are getting rarer. And the peaceful days are getting longer. So yes, it's enough. What would you do? If you were me, I'd take Moretti's offer. With conditions. Full control over operations. No illegal activities.
No compromises.
Build something legitimate using everything you learned. Good and bad. Light and dark. Make something beautiful from the broken pieces. You really think that's possible? I'm living proof it's possible. 6 months ago, I was a criminal. A killer. Someone who'd lost everything. Now I'm a bookstore clerk in Montana. Reading to kids on weekends. Living quietly. Being normal. If I can change, you can change. We can all change. She was right. And hearing her say it, seeing her live it, made me believe it. I stayed in Montana for a week. Helping in the bookstore.
Talking. Healing.
Planning. On my last day, Katia gave me a book.
Old.
Well-worn. My brother's journal. I want you to have it. Read it. Remember him. Remember why we did all this. I took the journal. Promised to read it. Promised to remember. Then I drove back to Seattle.
To Dorothy.
To decisions. I called Moretti from a burner phone. He'd been released 2 weeks earlier.
Parole.
Good behavior. Cooperation with authorities.
Elena.
I was wondering when you'd call. I'll take your offer. With conditions. Name them. Full operational control. No illegal activities. Ever. Complete transparency in all business dealings. And 20% ownership. Not just salary. I want equity.
He laughed.
You've learned negotiation.
Good.
I accept. When can you start? 1 month. I need to tie up loose ends.
Say goodbyes.
Prepare. 1 month. I'll have contracts ready. Welcome to Carter and Moretti Security Solutions, partner. Just Carter Solutions. Your name stays off the company. You can be silent partner.
Instant.
But the public face is clean. Legitimate.
Mine.
Silence. Then, agreed. Carter Solutions it is. 1 month. I hung up. Called Chin next. I'm starting a business. Private security. Corporate investigations. I need someone I trust. Someone with FBI experience and connections. Someone who's not afraid of complicated situations. You offer me a job? If you're interested. Good salary. Challenging work. Chance to do real good. What do you say? I say yes. I say absolutely yes. When do I start? 1 month.
Same as me.
We build this together.
Clean. Honest.
Strong. I'm in. Next I called Dorothy. I'm not taking the diner job.
I'm sorry.
I know. You're building something else. Something bigger. How did you know? Because I know you, honey. You're not built for small. You're built for challenging. For important. For meaningful. So go build it. And when you need a safe place, a quiet moment, a friendly face, my diner will always be here. Thank you. For everything. Don't thank me. Just make it count. Make everything you survived mean something. I spent the next month preparing. Finding office space. Hiring staff. Building a website. Creating something from nothing. Carter Solutions opened 6 weeks after my release from prison. Small office. 3 employees. 1 vision. Help people. Solve problems. Use everything I'd learned for good. Our first client was a whistleblower. Someone who discovered corporate fraud and needed protection while going public.
Perfect.
Exactly what we were built for. 6 months later, we had 10 employees.
20 clients.
Growing reputation. Katia visited. Saw what we'd built. Smiled. You did it. Built something beautiful from the broken pieces. We did it. All of us.
You,
Marcus.
Chen, Dorothy.
Everyone who believed this was possible. What about Hardwick? What about everyone who tried to stop us? Hardwick's in prison. The CIA's been reformed. Black site operations are under congressional oversight. Checks and balances restored. We didn't change everything,
But we changed something.
and that matters. 1 year after my release, I got a call. Unknown number.
Elena Carter.
Speaking. This is Michael Torres. I'm an investigative journalist. I've been following your story. The CIA conspiracy. The trial. Your company. Everything. And I want to write about it.
About you.
About how someone goes from burned operative to convicted felon to legitimate businesswoman. Would you be willing to be interviewed?
I thought about it.
About exposure. About privacy. About legacy.
Yes.
I'll tell you everything. The whole story. Truth and consequences. But on one condition. What's that? You tell Alexei Volkov's story too. His courage. His sacrifice. His attempt to expose corruption. He deserves to be remembered. Deserves to be more than a footnote.
Deal.
When can we start? Tomorrow. My office. Bring your recorder. This is going to take a while.
He came.
We talked. For hours.
Days. Weeks.
He wrote the article. Then a book. Then a documentary. The world learned about Alexei Volkov. About Katia. About the conspiracy. About everything. And they learned that sometimes broken people build the strongest things. That justice isn't clean or simple. That redemption is possible even after terrible mistakes. 2 years after my release, Carter Solutions had 30 employees. Offices in 3 cities. Reputation as the best private security and investigation firm in the country. We specialized in whistleblower protection, corporate fraud investigation, executive security for people doing dangerous but important work. Everything I'd learned as an operative. Everything I'd survived as a fugitive. Everything I'd understood as a convict. All of it channeled into something good. Something meaningful. Chun became my partner. Equal ownership. Equal voice. Together we built something neither of us could have built alone. Dorothy's diner thrived. She opened a second location. Hired formerly incarcerated people. Gave them second chances like she'd given me. Katia stayed in Montana. We talked monthly. She was happy. Peaceful. Everything she'd never thought possible. Marcus disappeared into witness protection. But every year on Alexei Volkov's birthday, I received a card. No return address.
No signature.
Just a quote. The truth matters. Keep fighting. Moretti served 7 more years, then was released. He kept his promise. Stayed legitimate. Invested in Carter Solutions, but never interfered. Never pushed. Just watched his investment grow. We had lunch once a year. Talked about business.
About life.
About how strange it was that 2 enemies had become partners. You know what I learned? He said during one lunch. Building something good is harder than building something criminal. But it's better.
More satisfying.
More real. Took you 60-something years to figure that out? Some lessons take time. But I got there eventually. Thanks to you. Don't thank me. Thank Alexei Volkov. He's the one who started this. The one who believed truth mattered more than survival. To Alexei, Moretti raised his glass. To Alexei. 3 years after my release, the CIA invited me to speak. About ethics. About accountability. About how institutions can regain trust after massive failures. I almost said no. But then I thought about Alexei. About everything we'd fought for. About the opportunity to change things from inside. I spoke for 2 hours. Told them hard truths. Called out ongoing problems. Demanded real reform. Some people walked out. Others stood and applauded. The new CIA director approached me afterward. That was uncomfortable. Necessary, but uncomfortable. Good. Comfortable institutions don't change. Uncomfortable ones do. Would you consider consulting for us? Helping us rebuild ethical operations? creating new oversight systems.
No.
But I'll audit you. Independently. Regularly.
Keep you honest.
That's what Carter Solutions does. We hold powerful people accountable. I'll take it. When can you start? Already started. We've been monitoring your operations for 6 months. Report coming next week. You're not going to like it, but you're going to fix it.
He laughed.
You're exactly as difficult as your reputation suggests. Good. Easy doesn't change anything. 5 years after my release, I got the call I'd been waiting for. Elena, it's Chen. You need to see this. She sent a video. Congressional hearing. Former CIA officials testifying. About black site operations. About assassinations. About everything Alexei had tried to expose. Full accountability. Public acknowledgement. Criminal charges for those responsible. It had taken 5 years. But the truth had finally completely won. I called Katia. Did you see?
I saw.
Alexei would be proud. Of us. Of you. Of what you built. Of how you turned pain into purpose. He always believed that's what. At least 20 operatives. Maybe more. Elena, you need to abort. Get out of there. This is suicide. Can't abort. If we don't show, Hardwick walks. The truth stays buried. More people like Alexei die. And if you do show, you die. Is that better?
Yes.
Because at least we tried. At least we made them fight for it. Chin, if this goes bad, make sure those videos get out. Make sure everyone knows what really happened. Elena, don't do this. Please. I have to. This is what I was trained for. What I was built for. Exposing the truth. No matter the cost. I hung up before she could argue more. Looked at Katia and Marcus. This is it. This is the moment. We go in knowing it's a trap. Knowing we might not come out.
But we go anyway.
Because the alternative is letting them win. Letting them keep killing. Keeping lying. Keep destroying lives. Katia checked her weapons. I've been ready to die since they killed my brother. Let's make it count. Marcus nodded. For Alexei. For everyone they've hurt. Let's finish this. We loaded into the vehicle. Drove toward the federal building. Toward whatever waited for us there. Toward the truth. Or toward death. Maybe both. Made someone a hero. Not the lack of mistakes, but what you do after you make them. I miss him. Even though I never met him. He'd have liked you. Would have seen the same fight in you that he had in himself. The same refusal to accept injustice. What about you? You okay? More than okay. Elena, I'm happy. Really happy. Didn't think that was possible. But it is. And that's because of you. Because you showed me there's life after revenge. Purpose after rage. Peace after war. We talked for an hour. About nothing. About everything. Two ghosts who'd found their way back to being human. That night, I sat in my office, looking at photos on the wall.
Dorothy, Chun, Katia.
Marcus somewhere out there. Even Moretti, surprisingly. My family. Chosen. Earned.
Real.
I thought about where I'd started. Burned operative. Identity erased. Life destroyed. And where I was now. Business owner. Truth teller. Someone who'd survived hell and built something beautiful from the ashes. It hadn't been clean. Hadn't been simple. People had died. Mistakes had been made.
Costs had been paid.
But justice had been served.
Truth had been exposed.
And life had been rebuilt. That was enough. More than enough. My phone buzzed. New client inquiry. Miss Carter, my name is Sarah. I discovered illegal activities at my company. They're threatening me. Threatening my family. I need help. I need protection. I need someone who understands what it's like to stand alone against power. I smiled. Typed back. You're not alone anymore.
Carter Solutions protect whistleblower.
That's what we do. That's our purpose. Tell me everything. We'll handle it together. Her response came fast. Thank you. Thank you so much. I didn't know where else to turn. You turned to the right place. We've been where you are. We know the cost. We know the fear. We also know how to win. Trust us. We've got you. I hung up, called Chun. New client. Whistleblower. Corporate fraud. Threats against family. We're taking the case. Sounds familiar. Doesn't it? Let's make sure her story ends better than ours started. Already on it. Elena, we're doing good work. Real good work. Making a difference. Yeah, we are. And it feels right. Feels like everything we survived was preparing us for this. For helping people who can't help themselves. Alexei would approve. He would. So would everyone we've lost along the way. We're honoring them by building something that matters. I looked out my office window, at the city, at the sky, at the future stretching out bright and full of possibility. 5 years ago, I'd been destroyed, erased, nothing. Now I was rebuilt, stronger, better. Someone who used her pain to prevent others' pain. That was redemption. That was justice. That was peace. And it was enough. So if you're out there, fighting power, exposing truth, standing alone against corruption, remember this. You're not alone. People like me, like Chun, like Katia, like everyone who's survived the darkness, we're out here. We're fighting with you. We're building something better. And we're winning. Slowly, messily, imperfectly. But we're winning. Hit that like button if this story moved you. Subscribe for more stories about survival, justice, and redemption. Comment below and tell me where you're watching from. Tell me your story. Tell me your fight. Because we're all in this together. All fighting for truth. All building something better from broken pieces. And together, we're unstoppable. My name is Elena Carter. I went from burned operative to convicted felon to legitimate businesswoman. I exposed CIA corruption, brought down conspirators, lost everything, and rebuilt it stronger. This is my story. This is my truth. This is my purpose. And it's just beginning.